It's morphing time, my little H2C.
Hey, I'm Max. Right now we are at TCT Asia's Bamboo Labs booth.
At that time, I was assembling this little, well, not that little of a 4-legged mecha thingy. It took me like a month from the first concept to the finished prints and also assembly. If you are somehow interested in how I made it, let's go back in time, all the way right at the design phase. It all started when I was trying to learn the VR sculpting software called Substance Modeler, and I wanted to make some kind of a project to check if I have actually learned the software or not. So I looked around and decided to use the H2C as a reference. I loved the design of the H2C, especially the vortex system, and its tool head looked exactly like a mecha head, or maybe a torso. So after some trial and error, the result is this 4-leg, 2-arm big cannon mecha thingy. And then I exported the sculpted STL into my favorite CAD, well, not really a CAD software called Plasticity. When actually modeling it, I wanted to use the H2C's vortex to print all kind of colors, so I extruded out all the warning signs and logos and all other kind of stuff of different color, so it's easier to slice in the slicer and to print. Also, the H2C can print multiple materials, right? So I tried for the first time of using support material for the PLA parts, and I was amazed by the result. Either the support just fell off the plate, or we can have some support removal ASMR. For the legs joints, at that time it was before I've tried printing interlocking TPU and PLA, so I was using a ring of TPU between the PLA parts for friction. It worked. And for strength, I used some metal parts like screws and steel pins. Then after adding some little details, the leg is finished. And all we need to do is to repeat the process 3 more times. Looking at those legs right now, they look kind of interesting by themselves. Maybe I should try making some other stuff with them some other time. The pelvis part is kind of simple, but I figure its bottom area needing some design elements of circles and squares. Since I'm already copying H2C, right? Well, Bamboo Lab, here we go. Please just don't sue me for putting your logo on my ass. Then after some screwing around with the facial expressions, we can have the body assembled. Then putting some focus. Well, did I assemble it backwards, that the face is facing the ass? Wow. Then I figured the waist part looked kind of weak, like a single rocket can tear the mech in half. So let's give it some steel rods and cylinders to mimic the shape of some hydraulics, I guess. The last little design for it could be this ammo belt thingy. I like how the Gatling guns have those, and they have like 2 belts, one for feeding and another one for returning the shells. So I printed some ammo with 1.75mm holes and threaded them with TPU filament, so they can have some kind of flex and form this interesting shape, to break up the silhouette in a way. And as I was finishing up on the model, by pure coincidence, I figured out that the H2C's vortex nozzles fitting the holes of the smoke canisters, like, perfectly. Well then, I guess I have just made the most over-engineered H2C nozzle holder, right? At that point in time, the whole project should be finished, but we're just moving to our new studio, and it's kind of big. It could definitely use some bigger models, right? And in order to do that, we got our hands on not 1, not 2, but 4 H2Cs. After unboxing, all that's left is like a whole week of printing. One of the largest parts is this torso piece. It took one H2C 3 days and used up like 3 kilograms of filaments. The assembly of the big one is easy and not easy at the same time. Like, to save print time and get the weight down, I hollowed out most of the bigger parts. Otherwise it's gonna take ages to print and it's gonna weigh a ton, I guess. Like for this cannon, itself weighs like 5 kilos. So I used some metal hinges which is originally used for like cabinets on boats or whatever. And about the belts, I figured that TPU is not gonna work. But the Teflon tubes on the printers, they might work. because it's durable, somehow flexible, and also slippery, so it's easy to put them through the individual shells. So that's how I copied the elements on my H2C and made it into a mech. And it's morphing time. Hey, I'm Max. This little mecha is a fun one to design and to make. It all started because I wanted a project to learn the sculpting software, and it turned out something like this and got put into the Bamboo Labs booth in conventions. It's real fun. I have many more fun projects that I'm working on right now, like a real big hexapod which I'm struggling on inverse kinematics, but I've finished one leg, so that's something I guess. And also this Gundam head. It's a collab between me and my friends, so I don't have to worry about the coding, which I hate. Also, all my projects are free and will always be free on MakerWorld, and you can find my link in the description. And maybe at this time a like or subscribe, that would be hugely welcomed. And
So that's how I built this little thing. Hope you like it. Have a good one.